Is that an X? Is that an O? XO Sports Talk? Yeah, let's go.
I got my swag back.
Hey, show me if you can come in a little brighter.
Yeah. I got my swag back. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of XO Sports Talk. This is episode number 46. Today is Wednesday, April the 6th, 2022, and the whole band is back together again. We're getting ready to do it. Let's kick it, fellas. What's up, my dudes?
What's going on, guys?
What's up,
How's
fellas?
everybody?
What's up?
Come on, man. We here, bro. Huh? Listen, man, there's a lot going on, fellas. There's a lot going on.
No doubt.
Let's get into it, man.
Let's get into it.
Sure.
Malcolm, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody out there all over the world and all through the United States. It's glad to have you back. You know,
And
it's
if
just
you
great
could
being
see
here.
and if you could see Malcolm in the background, you can see the XO Sports sweatshirt in the back. That's a very nice sweatshirt.
Like that sweatshirt, Malcolm. That's what's up, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank
Harry,
you, bro.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How's everybody else doing?
It's a beautiful background. You plan on jumping the bridge?
I'm not gonna jump it, but I'm gonna drive across it. Get away from you guys.
Yeah. See how fast you come back. Emerson, Mr. Disco Dynamite himself.
Yeah, boy. I just want you to know, I got my swagger back. Man, I'm here chilling in the man cave, man. You know, man, ready to do some hot talking about some sports going on in the world. And I'm ready, man. I'm just happy to be on the show with all the fellas tonight. And I'm ready to get it popping. Let's go.
Pop, pop, pop. Don't drop. Brian, little brother, how are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. He sounding like Flavor Flav. We got Terry. Looking like Alcatraz back there. They're probably looking for Jimmy G. They probably locked him up. So all is well.
No, I
is
see
good.
somebody swimming, man. Somebody swimming, man. See somebody swimming.
And before we hit the subscribe button, our hearts and minds go out to the people in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's just sickening.
Yeah.
It's just pure out sickening that a man would want to take many lives for no reason and to hurt that many people. It's just downright sickening, and I hope this doesn't drag out to be a long war. I hope that this can end, and may God be with the people in Ukraine.
Absolutely. Our prayers are with them.
Yes.
Definitely.
Prayers
Our
out.
prayers are with them.
Yes.
Terry, I got a question for you before you hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
We have people in India, Philippines. There was a couple more that was up there.
Canada,
Canada, and we just
Guam,
Russia,
Puerto
Russia.
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto
And we
Rico.
We want to
No.
say thank you all to the listeners out there,
Absolutely.
and please pop in, leave a question, give a question, or give an answer. We'll take it all at XO Sports Talk. Terry,
Absolutely.
tell them about that subscribe button, please.
Yep. XO Sports Talk would like to thank our viewers and listeners for their support. We are currently streaming on all media and podcast platforms. If you're watching you on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. You can also join in on tonight's discussion by calling the number at the bottom of your screen. For those of you listening in, you can call 475-221-5006. Again, thanks for all your support and welcome to tonight's show. Big shout out to Debbie Gamble, who's tuning in again tonight.
Hey,
Okay.
That.
One of our faithfuls. Okay.
Yes, more consistent than us.
Yeah. Appreciate it. It's good to have good listeners like that all over the world. So
Definitely.
Everybody. Yes.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, Deb. Guys, college women basketball champion South Carolina defeated UConn.
True.
Mhm.
Malcolm, what did your eyes see?
Well, like I said, I actually picked, South Carolina, but my heart was really with UConn. I mean, I was hoping I was wrong, but South Carolina just had too many weapons. I mean, them big girls just out rebounded them. I mean, unfortunate that UConn lost their big girl in the semifinals, when she fell on her wrist and broke her wrist, fractured her wrist. But, I think they still had too much for them anyway, because those girls, they were getting every single rebound and offensive rebound, putting it back in. And that young girl, the shooter, oh my God, she was killing them. I got a name.
Destiny Henderson.
Destiny Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh, she was on fire. She was pulling it out. She was pulling it out, man. She did a great job. And that's a great job. Congratulations to South Carolina Gamecocks. And congratulations to the coach, the super coach herself, Dawn Staley. I mean, she did a great job. And congratulations also on her being, college coach of the year. Women college coach of the year.
Yes.
So that's a great job all around for her. And she's well-deserved. She works hard and she makes sure her students and her program does a great job. So that's awesome. Great to see that.
Nice. Terry.
Well, yeah, like Malcolm said, I mean, South Carolina they were just a bigger, more physical team in that game. UConn needed at least 4 or 5 more Paige Beckers in that game, and they just couldn't handle the pressure. I mean, I think UConn knew they were overmatched. And, that's what happened. Like Malcolm said, they got out-rebounded. I think they got a total of 49 rebounds to UConn's 24 total rebounds for the game. Like I said last week, the team that is going to dominate the boards and get those second chance points is going to be the team that is going to win the championship. South Carolina, they, like Malcolm said, had the coach of the year in Dawn Staley, player of the year in Aaliyah Boston, and they were the number 1 seed in the tournament. So it looks like it was their destiny. Also want to give Dawn Staley another shout out because she has become the first African-American coach in Division I history, men or women, to win multiple national championships. So that's a big deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Congratulations.
Big deal.
Right. Not only that.
I'm sorry, Emerson.
Hey, listen, just to echo basically what Malcolm and Terry was saying, and I got to go with the great Pat Riley. He said rebounds means rings. If you can have those second and third chance opportunities, you're going to most likely come out on the winning end of things. And South Carolina proved what they're made of. The makeup started with their coach. She's a very intense coach. She expects a lot from her players. She was also a great player herself, and just being able to see her team go out there and execute. And I want to say UConn probably got outplayed early on in that game, and they could just never recover. And we got to give UConn some credit. They did what they could against a team that was just better than them. And Paige is one of the greatest players in college basketball, playing for the UConn, but she was just overmatched that night, and they were just swarming her defensively. And defense and rebounds normally will get you a championship. So big ups to the South Carolina team. Big ups to Coach Dawn Staley on winning the Coach of the Year as well. So she's riding on a cloud right now. Congratulations once again to South Carolina.
Brian.
Yeah. And before I jump in, I think Malcolm wanted to say something about Dawn, so I'm just gonna let him go and then I'll jump in.
Yeah, Asia Fudd, the freshman, she didn't even show up, and Jefferson, the senior, neither one of them showed up. That was they said like that was 27 points between the two, and they didn't even show up, man. They must scored a total of maybe 4 points, if that. It was just Gino was just shaking. I mean, they look shaken. They look shook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They look a little shook. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything you guys said was right on point. I was shocked in the manner and the way they dominated UConn, but they was just outmatched. And as we talked about in our post-production meeting a little bit, I was like, South Carolina reminded me of Arkansas, where they was just pressuring and just going back to the Nolan Richardson days, for people who don't know. And they would just press you all day, and they just called it 40 minutes of hell because they would just pressure you. And
pressure you. Constant pressure.
So UConn, they didn't have anybody else other than Paige Becker that had double digits in points. So it was just it was a great game, though. I have to say that. And carrying all of the tournament that went on with the NCAA women's college tournament, WNBA future looks bright. You got a lot of good players getting ready to enter the WNBA, if not this year, the following year. Got Paige Becker. Yep. Got Leah Boston. Caitlin Clark. I'm not sure if anybody's seen her from Iowa. Yeah. She's like Steph Curry. Yeah. She can shoot from the logo with the handle. Yeah. So you got that. Yeah. Then you got Paige Becker. So the WNBA future looks real bright as you starting to see that there are other players and stars like Sue Bird and Taurasi are starting to get into the twilights of their careers. So, but WNBA looks bright right now.
Good point, Brian.
What I saw was I said, my goodness, the guards for me, for South Carolina was just putting pressure on the UConn guards, and they had nothing to answer for it. They looked slow. It looked like their feet were stuck in this quicksand because Gino was on the sidelines in a stare like, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. I have no answer for this. All I can do is just sit and torture because he looked like he looked like an old, tired man that had to stand there and suffer through that game. His defense, I think they came close to 7 points in the second half. And then all of a sudden, the girls from South Carolina said, okay, let's dial it back up. Here's some more pressure. And they were just slow. And Gino was just like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to stand right here and just take this whooping. And that's what he did. He took a whooping. And congratulations once again to South Carolina.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Dawn Staley, and congratulations to them. Yep.
A sad one.
Built a legacy over there.
Yeah, right?
The sad one for me was congratulations to the Kansas Jayhawks defeating the North Carolina Tar Heels. Terry.
Hey, well, how's your bracket looking now, Aaron?
I think I
anything you want to talk about this week?
I think I had Kansas winning.
Yeah? You think or you know?
Well,
we have to check. We have to check.
The best way to check it is to go back to Exo Sports Talk, episode 45. Therefore, I'm going to say this. I cannot deny or confirm I said that.
All right. That's a nice plug, though. I like that.
Yeah.
It was a tough loss for the Tar Heels. and Hubert Davis. They got out to that 15-point lead, and took it into halftime. I felt like some injuries came back to hurt them late in the game, but I really feel like the pivotal point in the game was kind of when Kansas, right after halftime, they started cutting back into the lead, and I felt like Coach Davis waited too long to call a timeout to kind of settle the team down. I think they cut it to 6 points right before he ended up calling a timeout, and by then Kansas has a lot of the momentum. But I have to give Kansas credit. Coach Bill Self, he coached a heck of a game. He got him back in the game. Kansas, their center, McCormick, played a good game, scoring 15 points, 10 rebounds. He had a big basket late in the game.
Big shots.
I think, yeah. And I also have to give some props to Kansas's junior forward, Christian Braun. He reminds me of like a young Gordon Hayward when he played for Butler. He's a talent.
Yes, he is.
Hats off to Kansas. Congratulations.
Emerson.
Listen, we know there's a lot of pride down there in North Carolina with the Tar Heels. The great Michael Jordan played there, and so many other great players that played for North Carolina. And I was just glad to see Hubert Davis be able to bring that team to the national championship game, because they started off in the tournament as the 8th seed. A lot of people didn't even have them making the Sweet 16. So first of all, I want to give some credit to Coach Hubert Davis for a job well done this year, bringing his team to the national championship game. But he went up against a legendary coach in Bill Self, who's been one of the greatest recruiters in the country for many, many years down at his program in Kansas. And Kansas just do what they do. They out-rebound you. They hustle. They play good defense. They play good sound basketball, and they're well coached. And coaching always plays a difference down the stretch. And when, as you could see, those first 3 possessions coming out of halftime, as Terry alluded to, were probably some of the key factors. I thought Hubert Davis should have called a timeout as well to gather his troops to get them settled down, but he didn't. He kind of let them play out. And by the time Kansas just built that confidence and they said, we're going to win this, they got within that 6-point range or so, and they just felt it. They felt the momentum switching, and they just felt like we're going to be and do what Kansas do what we do, and that's win games. And when the lights are bright, Kansas knows how to shine. So congratulations to Kansas City Jayhawks, Coach Bill Self, and the rest of the troops there. They did what they had to do.
Malcolm.
Yeah, the 2 gentlemen in front of me stole a little of my thunder because they were on point exactly when they said he waited too late for that timeout when they made that run in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see the wheels coming off the track, you got to do something, Coach Davis. I mean, hats off to Coach Davis and the rest of that crew because, and Brother N was right, nobody had them going past the Sweet 16. Nobody.
Yeah.
They willed themselves, and that dude Badcock, he played his butt off the whole tournament. He was a double-double machine. Big man rocked. I mean, too bad he sprained his ankle. But when we're forgetting in that run, Remy Martin got on fire. Remy, he killed it.
Yeah.
He was on fire. I mean, he brought them back. He was making a lot of dishes, and he also was switching it from the outside from the 3. He was playing ball. Like I said, you got to give credit. Congratulations to Bill Self. I'll be the first to say I'm not a big believer in Bill Self as a coach. I know he has talent at Kansas. And he's a great recruiter. I'm not doubting that. I mean, when you got all McDonald All-Americans, I tell people all the time, you should be in the top 4 every year.
Yeah,
but he did a good job in managing that team and making sure they won. So you got to give, credit where credit's due. They won the championship, and that's the 2nd championship. So it is what it is. I mean, Kansas is a great program. They are, obviously, we know they're blue blood, and they do it all day, every day, So it's just a matter of, everybody else is stepping their game up because Kansas is going to be here for a while.
Yes, they are.
Coach, so he knows how to coach. I agree with that. I give him credit. I don't give him credit all the time, but I give him credit for that. So he did a great job, especially that was a huge comeback. Huge comeback.
Yep.
Like I said, that was a great game. That was a great game.
Brian.
And everybody, once again, is right on point. I thought it was an exceptional games of two halves. One team played great one half, and the other team played better the second half. I think this is going to be a learning experience for Hubert as well. Got to give congrats to the Jayhawks because they did go out there and win that in the second half. When I was watching the game in that second half, before that, Kenny Smith was talking about Tar Heels. The only way they can lose this game is they just turn the ball over and that's basically it. And they just came out there in the second half and first couple of shots, the guards just put up 3-pointers, long rebounds, transition. And I was like, get the ball back inside to your big man. Just start it through there, and then you can get your shots from the outside. Nope, they was just jacking up threes, missing, long rebounds out. And so it was that's a tough loss for Hubert, but like you said, nobody really expected them to be there. So hopefully he can get back there, get some more players. And it was good to see two big men battling down there because you don't really see that too often anymore. So
grown man basketball.
Yeah, it was. It was physical. So it was a good game. Great game.
Well, I'm going to go off the rails. I was upset. I was furious. I want to start throwing chairs like Bobby Knight. But then I would have had to pick up the chairs and put them back up the right way, so it wasn't worth it. But at the half, North Carolina's up by 15. No team has never lost with a lead that big. And I'm like,
I think it was actually 16.
I think it was 16,
Yep.
16, 15, give me a nickel, give me a dime. It was too much. I was like, they were just kept saying it on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, they came out in the second half, lights out. And with about 4 minutes left in the game, you could see that North Carolina was tired. They didn't have the bench.
Yep.
And the young man that came off the bench that had a spark for North Carolina,
Johnson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden
Cam Johnson brother.
He falls to the ground on the court.
Yep.
And they said he took a shot to the stomach. And I was like, that must have been a hell of a shot.
Yeah, it was a little scary moment there for a minute.
Yeah. And he went out. Then the big man, he twisted his ankle again. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. It just seemed like the wheels just came off for North Carolina. And they were outplayed the second half. Give it to Kansas. And North Carolina didn't have a bench. They kept jacking up threes. And that old saying, you live by the three, you can surely die by the three. And that's what happened. But let's hope my Tar Heels with Hubert Davis come back next year for the Tar Heels. Emerson.
Yes, sir.
How about your NHL and your MLB update, please?
Well. Listen, in the week, a great week in the NHL. I have your new power rankings for this week. We're going to go with the Colorado Avalanche, who they were previously ranked number 1 last week, and they stay right there. And they're primed for a Stanley Cup run, as we know. They're a solid team. They're always going to be tough. And like I said, they're primed for a Stanley Cup run. The Florida Panthers playing great hockey right now. They were previously ranked number 4. They're ranked number 2 in the power rankings this week. I think that trade, when they traded for Ben Sherratt, at the trade deadline, is paying big dividends off. He's a solid player for them. And I think they're coming together now, getting some chemistry together. And I think they're going to be a tough out when it comes down to that Stanley Cup run. So we got the Carolina Hurricanes at number 3 in the power rankings this week. They made some moves. Max Domi has carved out a nice role for them. They were ranked previously number 2 last week, and now they're number 3, but they're still in the thick of things. I think they're going to be a tough out. We know that they come to play every night. They're going to bring it all on the ice, and they're going to lay it down. And you better be ready to play those Carolina Hurricanes. At number 4, they were previously ranked number 3. the Calgary Flames. Ryan Carpenter, he's probably going to have to be their frontline center right now because they had some injuries at that position. So they're looking for him right now to pay some big dividends for them as they prime themselves for that Stanley Cup run. And then the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I just want to send a big shout out to Austin Matthews with the hat trick. And they pulled off a 6-2 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And he's like the number one in goals this year with 54. He's number 4 in points with 95. And watch out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they're going to make a strong push for the Stanley Cup. And that's my news this week in the world of the NHL. Flipping over to the MLB update for this week.
Wow, he's still going. Oh.
Yeah, man, I'm still going. Flipping over to the MLB, the world of baseball. First, we want to send a shout out and I'll pay our respects and condolences to a great player that played for the Dodgers who passed away this week, Tommy Davis. He led the league in batting with a 346 average in 1962 and again in 1963 with a 326 average and becoming like the first player to win a batting championship for the Dodgers in history that year with over 230 hits and 153 RBIs. So those numbers are still Dodger records for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we just want to send our condolences out to him and his family for a great play. Had played over 18 years in the major leagues, and it's always just sad to see some of the greats go. And we just want to send our condolences out here from Exo Sports to Tommy Davis and his family. But also, baseball is back. We got opening day this week. People are excited. Fans are excited. The gates will be open. The hot dogs will be selling. The popcorn will be selling. We'll be having "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" songs being played.
Cracker Jacks.
So Cracker Jacks. So get ready. Let's play ball. Baseball is back. Welcome back, baseball. And I'm glad we didn't have a long holdout. The players are back. They're getting in shape. They are in shape. Let's go. Let's throw the first pitch so I can see my Dodgers win this World Series this year. So that's the world of Major League Baseball. Play ball. Let's get it going. All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bring Barry Bonds back.
Guys, reflect on Coach K Final Four exit in his career. Terry.
I was really pulling for him to win it. I'm not by any means a Duke fan, but I have to respect what this man has done in his career at Duke, what he's done for the game of college basketball, what he's done for Team USA. He's had a great career. He's a legend. He was a legend before he even stepped away from the game. So hats off to him. Best wishes on whatever his next endeavor is. And it was great having you around.
Emerson.
Greatness. Coach K, he's been just a legend in college basketball. He's had major influence on so many players, both on the court and off the court. All players that you've ever heard speak about him talks about he was more than just a basketball coach to me. And those are some of the defining moments in a player's career when you can have a coach, even after you become a professional, you can still call your college coach and get advice, whether it's money management, whether it's about family situations on how you just becoming a man. Now, a lot of these guys that played for him, they're millionaires. They go and they take his advice on what I need to do with my life going forward, not just on the basketball court, but just as a man. But speaking of basketball, he's one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen in college basketball. You rank him up there with the great Coach Wooden and so many other, the great Dean Smiths and all those great battles that they had over the years. And I was kind of sad that he wasn't able to pull it out, being his last year. We saw North Carolina knock them off, and in the earlier in the year, his final game at Duke, they're at home, and to see him go out, he went out with class. What more can we say? But you just have to give Coach K. I'm sure they'll put a statue out there in front of the stadium with his logo on there. One of the greatest coaches ever in college basketball. So, Coach K, good luck to you in your future endeavors.
Malcolm.
Wow, that was a mouthful. Put that picture up, B, for me. Coach K, I mean, one of the pioneers in college basketball. Over 1,000 NCAA Division I wins, over 100 tournament wins. That's incredible. I mean, he started in 1980, as you can see, and North Carolina gave him his first loss as a Duke head coach, and also gave him his last loss as the Duke head coach. I was never a Duke fan. It's no secret because I couldn't stand, Christian Laettner, couldn't stand. Oh, I did like Grant Hill. I couldn't say I didn't. Grant Hill was a heck of a player. You had no choice but to love him, as a player. And it goes back when Danny Ferry was on the team. I couldn't stand Duke back then, but I tell you, the man ran a great program, and I tell you, he coached some big-time players in the NBA. And he also had a great resume. Don't forget, he was an Olympic coach. He coached some pros that wasn't even – they would never went to college for him. So, as an Olympic coach, he did a great job too. So, hats off, and of course, congratulations on your retirement and everything you do, Coach K. Congratulations on your future endeavors. I mean, great job. I mean, your resume speaks for itself. Great job,
Brian.
And congratulations to a stellar career. What I will say is I remember an interview, there was interviewing the late, great Kobe Bryant about the Olympics and the impact that Coach K had on him. And the level of what Kobe was talking about, it just showed the level of greatness that this guy was able to impact somebody who didn't go to his school, barely knew him. They met in the Olympics. And the impact that he had, that Kobe spoke out about him. And it just goes to show his resume speaks volumes. And hopefully, whatever he decides to do after that, just everything goes out to him. But he had a stellar career, definitely.
Well, it was Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils. For me, it was like the evil empire when it came to playing against the Tar Heels. You knew that, you saw that intense look on his face, looking at the players with that grit look on his face, like, you better win. And they would win. And he was a successful college coach. And think about it, still at the age of 70 years old, to tell kids, hey, you want to win? You want to get a good education? And he was still able to get top quality players to come to Duke, because, these young kids today, they're like, they want flash. They want to run. And he's saying, I'm going to teach you skills that if you do get drafted by the NBA, you might be a little bit more prepared. So let's just hope his style of teaching doesn't leave college basketball. He will be missed.
Sure.
NBA talk around the locker room. Let's go with Malcolm.
Well, the one more week left till the NBA playoffs. I mean, it's no secret. Put it up, P. That team, the LA Fakers, I told you they wasn't going to make it. And that geriatric team, well, I tell you, man, they sat there and took all these pictures. Yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that. What's his name? My man, big man predicted them to have 65 wins. Not with Street Clothes Davis on that team, you ain't getting that 65 wins. I'm telling you now.
Come on, man. Come on,
with shooting behind, not with shooting behind the backboard of Russ.
man.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This was LeBron, one of the greatest years he had, you know, as a player. And he couldn't even shine because he's averaging 30 points and doing all he can do. Like I said it last week, he's probably the most gifted basketball player, all-around basketball player I've ever seen in my life. I mean, and I go way back. And I mean, all around doing it all. And he couldn't pull the rest of that team up with him. I mean, it was like a ball and chain. It was like he had 4 ball and chains on his ankles playing basketball, just dragging them all over the court. I'm telling you. I don't care what coach you go, Vogel, you could put Pat Riley back in there. That ain't gonna help that team. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're a done deal. And what kills me is what shrunk down was y'all don't realize guess who has to play in the play-in game? The Brooklyn Nets. They're the play-in. You know, they only got 41 wins. I thought they had more than that, 41-38 in the East. But back to the West, Phoenix is just blue. They're just waiting to sit there, and right now they're trying to punch their ticket straight to the finals because they know they got to stay healthy. And watch out for Memphis, man. Memphis is just a beast. I love seeing what I'm seeing out of Memphis. They're just doing a great job, and you can't. And this is without Ja. You know, they're playing as a team. Yeah. They're doing our job, but that defending champ, you can't do nothing but a defending champ, Milwaukee. Right now, they're just waiting out their time. They're just sitting out their time. There's a 3-way tie for second place with Philadelphia, Boston, and Milwaukee. A 3-way tie with a week to go for second place. Yo.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Ready.
Get your popcorn ready.
Popcorn ready.
Yeah.
Hey, I love NBA playoffs. I love March Madness without a doubt. March Madness is like my number one love. But NBA playoff comes a very, very close second.
Emerson.
The NBA, it's fantastic. Listen, and I know my Lakers aren't going to be in it this year. You know, we understand that. I think Brian had something for me, and I'm throwing up the white flag.
Yeah, you could have threw that out at the beginning of the season.
Next segment you talk about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. We'll throw out the white flag. But listen, you know, LeBron, he did all he could do this year. There were so many injuries with the Lakers. They never could get on the same page. I think they realized they made a major mistake, not probably signing DeMar Rosen, not going after some other shooters. I think they were looking at Buddy Hield early on. That was a trade that was like pretty much a done deal. But at the 9th hour, they decided, let's go get Russ. And now they're stuck with Russell Westbrook, and they're stuck with his contract.
Sound like some back talking to me.
They won't be able to move him. I'll have to admit it. I was all on the bandwagon. Wait till Russ and LeBron and AD get on the court. And you bring in Carmelo and yeah. But I will say this: Kendrick Nunn has yet to play for the Lakers. He's on that roster, and he was a major pickup for them. I thought he would play some big dividends this year, but we didn't get a chance to see him due to injury. You know, a lot of guys missed a lot of time this year due to injury, and the Lakers are done this year. We're going to have to see what happens.
You know who else was a big pickup for the Lakers? Street Clothes Davis. Anyway, the thing about it, this dude, man, what I tell you,
hold on
the best ability is what?
Availability.
Thank you.
Let Terry get in.
Oh, man.
I'm not gonna harp on the Lakers, but what I'm interested in seeing, especially going into the playoffs, and this was a hot team during the regular season, and they had some injuries. Kind of, they fell out of the talk around the NBA, but I'm interested in seeing how with Lonzo Ball being ruled out for the rest of the season with a bad left knee, how it's going to affect the Bulls and their chemistry. Not only was he doing a good job running the point, I believe that this year was his best year in terms of 3-point field goal percentage.
Yes.
So, with that being said, he was able to keep the lanes open for Zach LaVine to drive and kick or dunk. And then that allowed DeMar DeRozan to operate in the post. Now you don't have that. And he was also, to me, in my opinion, he was an underrated defensive player.
One
He
of
is
the
a
best
good
defenders on that team, hands down.
Yeah.
Definitely. He doesn't get enough credit for his defense. Hands down.
So he's going to be sorely missed. And can Kobe White and Alex Caruso step up and fill that PG spot and keep that offense running smooth? So we'll see.
Good point.
Just hope for a speedy recovery. That's all.
Brian.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm just gonna ask a couple of quick questions to everybody. Devin Booker, do you have him in your top 3 as for MVP? Go Malcolm.
Who you asking?
Malcolm.
Okay. No.
No?
Because you got Embiid, Joker. Joker is doing the thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And how come DeRozan is not in there? He should be in that talk, And there's always, LBJ, man, LeBron James, man. I mean, how can he constantly gets overlooked because of his own greatness.
All right.
I mean, he go ahead.
How's it, Aaron?
Me?
Yep.
Roll the dice. Why not?
Yes. Terry?
Yeah.
I don't have him in my top 3, but now that you mentioned him, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to say I forgot about him, but I really wasn't considering him. But now that you bring it up, I mean, with Chris Paul being out, he kind of held that Phoenix team down. I wouldn't put him top 3 just because you got my ranking: Joker, Giannis, Embiid, and then I'll have Devin Booker in at number 4.
Yeah. Emerson?
Actually, I was going to follow right in Terry's footsteps because Devin Booker held that team down while CP3 was out for a while, and he was that Devin Booker that we know, and he was the Devin Booker before CP3 arrived there in Phoenix, and he's just been playing lights out basketball, just solid. And sometimes you can lose sight of him because they play out there on the West Coast, and we don't get a chance to see them a lot on the national TV scene. But I would put him in that MVP conversation, especially right now because he's been able to hold that team down.
Yep. Aaron, I'm just going to ask one last question, and then just last one, and this is just going to be yes or no. If the Nets get bounced out without making it to the finals, Nash fired. Yes or no? Same order. Malcolm.
Yes.
Aaron.
No.
Terry.
No.
Emerson.
You damn right he should be fired.
All right. No, I'll just want to get everybody on record.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think if they don't make it to the finals, he should get fired.
You can dream about it, but it ain't going to happen. Tiger Woods to play in the Masters. Guys, do you feel Tiger Woods' body will hold up? And will he make the cut? Terry.
Hard for me to say because I still don't think that we know or they revealed the extent of his injuries from his recent accident. He came in second at the 2008 Masters with a bum knee. And if we know anything about Tiger, he's mentally tough. He is a little older now, so you know how that saying goes, Father Time is undefeated. So we'll just have to wait and find out this Thursday.
Malcolm.
Well, we all as fans of Tiger Woods are hoping, a fan of golf, of course, also is hoping that he can, get through it, because the injury is no joke. I mean, the man went through 2 back surgeries, and surgery was on each knee. And also, I think one of the knees was 2 surgeries he had on the knee. But it's not easy doing what he do, and he has to walk them greens. I tell you, man, good luck to him. Hey, I want to see him on Saturday and Sunday. Heck, I hope I see him on the leaders board on Saturday and Sunday, because I will be tuning in.
Interesting. Emerson.
Listen, I think it's a great story. Just his effort. Terry said something about his mental toughness, but physically, everything that goes with playing golf. Malcolm just mentioned something about walking the hills, and he's had multiple surgeries. We're talking about just being removed from a major accident where his leg was. They were talking about amputating his leg. Just to see him being able to walk, never mind play a sport or anything, is just amazing. I think the effort that he's going to try to put forth is going to be great, but I don't think he has enough to move that far in the tournament. So good luck to him. I hope everything works out for him.
Brian.
Yep, and I hope he makes the cut. I hope he plays well. Looking forward to it as a fan. And the impact that he brought to me in watching golf. I remember when I was young, on you see Saturday and Sunday, you see golf on. This is before really had cable. You had TV. You only had 10 channels back then. So, and the way I looked at it was, it was a slow paced game. It was something I didn't really look at. And to be honest, you looking out in the crowd and also in the players, I didn't see many players that looked like me. So I had no real interest. So for him to have the impact on me, to make me watch the game and learn the game, is a very powerful. And I just give you guys a quick story about something from watching golf and watching Tiger. Got myself some golf clubs and everything. So I went up to this driving range one day. So I think they had a bucket. It was like $5 for 25 balls, $10 for 50 balls, and then it was $20 for unlimited. So I go up to the counter. I tell the guy, I was like, well, give me the 20 because I'm going to be here all day. So I got the first bucket. I walk up the hill, go to the driving range, up there for about an hour. I'm sweating, looking like I was in somebody's pool. I ain't even get through the bucket. I come back down. The guy looks at me. I still got balls in the basket. He's like, "You ready for a refill?" I'm like, "Man, I'm done." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But that's how impactful he got me getting a club. Yeah, I'm done. He got me getting clubs, playing golf. So, but yeah, I hope he plays well.
I hope Tiger Woods' body holds up. If he can just if he can play till Sunday, he'll hear a roar by the crowd. Even if he doesn't make the cut, he's still going to hear a roar because they're just going to be happy to see him.
Yep.
Let me say something.
Can I say something real quick, Malcolm?
Go ahead.
I went and bought a set of golf clubs, and me and Brian went out to the range, and I hit the ball. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
I said, Brian, where'd the ball go? Brian pointed to the street. The ball, I shanked the ball so bad, it went over the net and out onto the street.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I said, well, let me try this again. I'm looking straight ahead. I said, Brian, where's the ball? He pointed again out into the street. I shanked it to the right.
Oh my
I
goodness.
said, I'm done. I said, if I hit a car, I'm not paying for nobody's windshield or somebody get into an accident. So my clubs have been in basement ever since. I'm sorry, Malcolm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. He influenced a lot of us because golf needs. golf needs Tiger Woods hands down.
Oh yeah.
Their viewership and their ratings multiply by thousands, and they know why.
Yeah.
Because we watching it. I'm be honest. They know it. It's no secret.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you got Tiger Woods fans who are, minorities. They don't have to be black. They could be Hispanic. They could be Asian. They could be, Philippine. The key is they love to see greatness in golf, and he brought that out of everybody. And like you said, I bought clubs too. I got them, and I play when I can. I shank it when I can. I pull it when I can, but I get out there. I tell you right now, I'm getting older and older. I can't do the walk no more, so I make sure I get that cart. So
with your Hennessy and a cigar, right?
No. The Hennessy have to wait till after golf, but a cigar has to go. Cigar has to go on there, But the key is he influenced a lot of us to a nice leisurely game, and it's great to see that. It's just great to see great golf competition. Now look out for his son. His son can play. He's no fluke.
Yeah,
that kid can play. I watched him in the father-son competition in Orlando. He was awesome. That's great to see.
Yeah.
Charlie,
we're coming up on the Saints and the Eagles making a big trade in draft picks. And I'm just going to get to the bottom line on this. New Orleans now has the 2022 first round picks, number 16 and 19, while Philadelphia also has 2 first round picks, 15 and 18 this year. Guys, what is the needs for the Saints and the Eagles going into the draft? Give it to me quick. Starting with Malcolm.
I'm going to say the Saints definitely need a quarterback. They're going to pick up a quarterback, and they're hurting on offensive line. They can't block nobody. So I'm going to say quarterback and offensive lineman, they need to start right there. They ain't got to worry about defense because if they ain't got the ball moving it nowhere, they ain't going nowhere. As far as the Eagles going offensive line and defensive line because Fletcher Cox, he's on his last leg. They need a pass rush. They have no pass rush right
They released him.
Yeah.
They released him and then re-signed him.
Yep.
But either way, they need that pass rush, and they're not getting it no more.
Emerson.
I think both teams may be looking at a quarterback. I'm not sure if Philadelphia is sold on their quarterback situation right now, and they may be looking at a quarterback as well. So I think the trade probably helps both teams, but I think this is a draft that's filled with multiple players at multiple positions, and both teams could use help at everywhere on the offensive line, defensive line, and even on the back end. So I think they can find their needs somewhere in this draft. So I think the trade worked out for both teams.
Terry.
I think the Saints will be looking for a quarterback, and before this trade even happened, I also think they'll be looking at a wide receiver, especially, and that was before this trade even happened. So I think they need to definitely address a quarterback for the future. And if they're going to roll with Jameis Winston, they need to get some help at wide receiver. So Philly, I'm going to go. I know Malcolm said D-line. I think they're going to go and look to add a good linebacker and a corner. They're going to probably pick those two out the draft, my opinion.
Brian.
Yep. And I'm just going to jump because Terry just said exactly what I was going to say. I'm going to go Eagles first. Eagles, I see them taking a corner and a linebacker. And the Saints, I think they moved up. I think they're going to wind up taking a quarterback and maybe I'm going to think they're going to take a edge rusher, actually. I think I got some names, but we're not going to go there today.
I think the Saints are going to try to move up to get a quarterback. Mm-hmm. The Saints defense can play with just about anybody in the league, but getting somebody for the future at quarterback is a must for the Saints. Mm-hmm. And I think you can still, if Winston's knee can come back, he can start this year, and they could probably be a playoff team. and still have their franchise quarterback for the future. I think they're going to probably try to move up and get the kid out of Pitt.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
The Eagles, I think the Eagles are going to go both wide. I think they're going to go wide receiver on offense
Again?
and get somebody on defense.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they're going to do wide receiver again.
Every year they draft.
Yeah, that's
Let's give
why.
it wide receiver.
And the wide receivers are deep, so I'm thinking
Yeah,
they're
they
going to
can
go
win on
corner.
that.
Wide
Yeah.
receiver draft. Deep
Yeah.
wide receiver draft.
I'm thinking cornerback or linebacker, but we'll see. It's a lot of time.
You know what? I would go corner, wide receiver with them.
Okay.
With the Eagles. And the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
May the Los Angeles Lakers rest in peace. While Emerson sings Amazing Grace,
Yes,
Malcolm,
sir.
your sermon for the Lakers.
I tell you, unless they get themselves younger and stop trying to buy players and give LeBron, LBJ all the money, time to give up some of that money, honey. I tell you, pass the hat around, so we can get some more players. So we can get some more players.
Amazing grace.
The Laker doors are open. The Laker doors are open. Don't they need one?
Amazing grace.
They need more than one.
How
They need
we
three. Play for that young man, Street Clothes Davis. If it ain't his foot, it's his ankle. If it ain't his ankle, it's his knee. If it ain't his neck bone, it's his tailbone. I tell you what, everything aches on that boy.
I once
Pray for
was
this
lost, but now I'm found.
They all need it.
Was blind, but now
I tell you, LeBron can't do it by himself.
Amazing
He ain't Moses.
grace.
And I ain't talking Moses Malone. He can't part the Red Sea, or he can't part the Great Lakes either. The Lakers are done. Stick a fork in them. I told him that at the beginning of the season, that they would do nothing. This geriatric team. Just throw them a bottle of Geritol and send them on their way.
Thank you, Reverend Malcolm.
Malcolm,
And
bravo.
now we
bravo.
ask for the funeral directors, Brian and Terry, to come and take the Lakers to their final destination.
Just a few final words. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called the LA Lakers. We are truly thankful that their season is now over, and we know that they are resting peacefully in swag heaven. Let us say our goodbyes to
Swag back.
Brother Westbrook, Brother Westbrink, I'm sorry, Brother Bron, and Brother Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Close, Davis.
And at this time,
Off the
Emerson,
streets.
Oh,
do you have any last words as we prepare to lay the Lakers to rest and not talk about them on the show for the rest of the NBA season?
I want my Lakers back from Showtime. I want my Showtime Lakers back from the 80s.
And I'm going to give you a last little
You better
You can
quote.
always
for a
watch them
short
on
season.
YouTube.
Yeah. From the book of King James. Not the Bible, but the player.
The player, King LeBron James. Wait till he write this story.
But next time, tell his teammate to pack.
We want to
His
thank you
uniform.
for tuning in to Exo Sports Talk and leaving out with a funeral of the Los Angeles Lakers. Please hit the subscribe button and tell all your friends that these clowns did a Laker funeral. Good night, everybody.
They might rise up again. Watch out for the rise.
Good night.
Huh?
Good night.
Until
Jesus
next week.
rose again from the grave. Easter is coming, huh?
You won't see that Laker team rise again.
Not this year.